Peace, peace, peace. So what's going on, family? So, please excuse the noise in the background. I got my window cracked. Folks outside, summertime, playing music out their car. So I hope y'all can hear me. But anyway, let me jump into this. Y'all know, if you really been rocking with me and following my videos, then you know that religion is something that I do dibble and dab in, theology and symmetry, things of that. Symmetry school, theology school, that is something that I have studied, on my own for quite some time now, because that's something that even as a child, it just always baffled me and left me feeling somewhat confused. Like, so much of this doesn't really seem to make sense. And for many of us, growing up, especially as so-called black men and women, we were always taught that you just don't question the Lord. You don't question anything in that Bible because it is all blaspheme, and God will be displeased with you if you do. So, for so many of us, we just went along to get along and never really questioned anything as we got older. And although I too did that, as I did get older, as I got older, became older, those questions still always lingered in the back of my mind. Like so many of these things, these Bible stories, now I know they were all allegories, allegories, but they all alluded to something. Not quite what we were taught that these stories were alluding to, understanding these stories as it relates to cosmology and astrology, you know what I'm saying? And so, but there's some verses that, or should I say, there's some things that, and it's funny because, first of all, a lot of these ideologies, these customs, these beliefs were instilled in us through our parents. No disrespect to our parents. Shout out to all parents out there, especially to mine, whom I love dearly, But as a grown woman, I had to start really, delving deeper into a lot of this and trying to make it make sense. As they say, isn't this supposed to be the age of make it make sense? So how are we still holding on to so much of these things? So many of these biblical stories. You understand what I'm saying? How are we still holding on to these things? I don't get it. That just really, really baffles me. And we still following these, as my granddaddy used to call them, God rest his soul, jackleg, bootleg preachers. And I don't understand that either. Like, why are we still following Reverend Pork Chop and them? As Pops would call them, Reverend Pork Chop and them. Why are we still following these people? Like, it's like the blind leading the blind. When is somebody going to stand up and actually make it make sense? This is why I think that a lot of this generation with the younger people, they just out there like, yo, we don't even care. We just want to, live fast, die young, die pretty, die paid. All that other stuff, all that in between, y'all can have all that. You know what I mean? We don't need all that. Just give me the meat. Forget the bread, forget the mayo, all that stuff is in the way. They just want to get straight to the point. And I can dig it. On that note, coming from that perspective, I can really, really dig it. But, understand me. I had to start asking questions. I really did. And so, how is it that most of you people, you so-called Christians, y'all always like to quote these Bible verses and you know, you carry and you walk around with these Jesus pieces on your neck, you know, because you're worshiping Jesus. But then on another hand, something goes wrong or something happens or you need something, you call God's name. So you're worshiping two masters. Yet you don't even realize that you're worshiping two masters. How do you not realize that? It says it right in your own Bible. Really, it does. Jesus tells you not to worship him. Worship he that sent me. Matter of fact, let's just go right here. Let's go right here. Let's go straight to the Bible. Okay, so here we go. This is my King James Version. And I'm going to go right in here to my bookmarks. Now here we go. Let me see. I'm going to start right here. I'm going to start right here. What did Jesus say? This is coming from Matthew 4, chapter 4, verse 10. So when the devil was tempting, what did Jesus say? See, because that devil, you know, that devil, that Satan rather, was always tempting, you know. But what did God say? What did Jesus say? Then saith Jesus unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Let's read that again. Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written. Like, get this through your head, because it's written. Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou worship or serve. Not himself. He said God. The Lord thy God. He didn't say thou shalt worship me. Jesus, he said thou shalt worship the Lord thy God. Is that not clear to you? But still, you do worship two masters. Let's check out another verse right here real quick. Let's go right here, right here, right here. Here we go. Let's go to this one. Now, this is coming from John chapter 5, verse 30. Listen very closely. I can of my own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not mine own will, but the will of the Father which hath sent me. If I bear witness, this is 31, if I bear witness of myself, my witness is not true. One part that nobody's understanding. If I bear witness of myself, in other words, if I should take the credit for any of this, then it ain't gonna be true. Cause this is not my own will, but this is the will of the Father which sent me, right? And I can do nothing on my own. See what I'm saying? It says it all right there. This not me. This not my doing. This not my will. It's not my work. I come in the name of the Father. What else? What else does the Bible also say? We should all know this one. Our Father who art in heaven. Art in heaven. That means who is in heaven, rather. Our Father who is in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy will be done. His will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. See what I'm saying? For real, we gotta start tapping in. We really have to start tapping in and start opening up that third eye, developing that third eye. You know, we have to start learning how to enter within, just as Jesus says in Luke. Woe unto you, preachers and lawyers, for you hinder the people, because ye yourself, you do not enter. What's that? Is that Luke 12? I don't know if I got that in my notes. Let me see right here. Let's just check it out. I might not have that one in here, but that's just one that I know. I don't think I have that in here. I don't see no Luke. Do I have any Luke in here? I don't see no Luke, really. Yeah, that's just one of those that I know. I think that's Luke 12. 12 something. I ain't sure. Then again, matter of fact, let me check something out for y'all. Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Hold up. Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Let's go. Right here. Alright, so what it say? Let's see, I'm going to show you right now what it says. Here we go, Luke 11, excuse me, not 12, Luke 11:46. Jesus says, woe to you, experts in the law, for you hold down with burdens they can hardly carry when you yourself do not lift a finger to help them. You know, Jesus was very, very disappointed in a lot of these so-called leaders of that day. If you really overstand much of that, that's what's really going on. Jesus is not happy. And when we see the word lawyers or something like this, you experts in law, right here, Luke 11:46, bring it to the top. Jesus says, woe to you experts in the law. That means preachers, reverends. Reverend comes from the word revere. This is why the reverend always up kind of high on the pulpit, and the congregation is kind of low, so you're looking up at this reverend as in to revere him. Luke 47. Right here we got, right here. Experts in law. Wherever you see law, wherever you see lawyers, is referring to preachers. Preachers, reverends, etc. So, you know, I'm just saying, like, it's about time we really get a little smart, y'all. For real, we gotta really stop being so gullible, you know what I mean? Stop being so afraid. What are you afraid of? You afraid to actually go within yourself? Y'all know I've told y'all time and time again, when I do tap in on this biblical or spiritual note, if you will, I tell y'all time and time again, you have to tap in. It is written. It's written. Is it not written in your law? Ye are all children of God? Huh? Of the Most High, and that ye are, is not that ye are gods? So when are you going to tap in? When are we going to truly tap in to that God consciousness? See what I'm saying? That God consciousness ain't looking at gender. That God consciousness is within each and every one of us lying dormant. Except maybe those disagreeables. See what I mean? Talking about them cherubims. What do we call the Yahweh? The way, you know? The disagreeables. But when we talking about the children of the Most High, those same children mentioned and spoken about in the Bible, that's us. That's our ancestors. That's no disrespect to anybody else of any other nationality or culture. We're just breaking down the truth and the science of it all. You know what I'm saying? Understand what I'm saying. Don't believe nothing. Go behind me. Go behind me. Validate it for yourself. There you see, I read it straight from your word, from your doctrine. See what I'm saying? So, you know, what more can one say? Real talk. What more can one say? So, you know, I'm just saying. It's time for us to start putting those crowns on. And it's time for us to start going within. It's time for us to really start climbing that Jacob's ladder and start understanding what it means. And I'm trying to tell you, this is no disrespect to any pastors, preachers, or whomever. Because I know that there are many pastors and preachers out there who truly were called. See what I'm saying? But if you teaching straight from that doctrine and you're not going within, you're not really bringing us the truth. And first of all, you're not breaking it down in its original dialect, Hebrew. How can you truly be breaking it down to us in its true form or understanding if you're not breaking that down? Because was that not the first I'm sorry, was that not the first, excuse me, something took my attention away from it, but was that not the first form of language that it was even written in? Hebrew. So you gotta break it down to me like that? Or you can't break it down to me? Or you lying to me? You not giving me the complete truth? And I'm sorry, but that's just the real deal. That is the truth, Ruth. That's the real deal, you know? And it's about time we all start doing this because we can't rise to our higher self if we don't. We can't rise to a higher consciousness if we don't. Not really and truly. You can say that you are, but are you really and truly? Because if you're not understanding what I just broke down to you over this past 18 minutes that I've been recording and talking, then that means that you still are asleep. You still are lost. You know, there are certain things that when you hear it, upon hearing it, and especially reading it, it's supposed to resonate with your soul. It's supposed to resonate with your soul and awaken your DNA. Trigger something in your DNA. That's how you know, and that's how you can tell when you tapping into some truth. And if that's not happening for you, if you still looking at those words, even though I read it straight from your own doctrine, and if you still looking at it saying, that ain't what it say, Pastor Dinkins ain't say it like that, you know, then, hey, maybe the truth ain't in you. Maybe it ain't for you. Many are called, but few are chosen. And you have ears, yet you don't hear. You have eyes, yet you don't see. And you keep trying to see with those two eyes on your face. Jacob said, I went to a place called Peniel, and my life was forever preserved. What's that place? Peniel. Peniel is code for pineal. Speaks of the pineal gland. Tell y'all the Bible, man, is all coded. I've been telling y'all this for a long time, just about as long as I've had this channel. So I'm learned and self-taught in many areas. of different degrees of different things. Still in this search and on this quest for complete inner and understanding of all that I survey. And now one of y'all gonna get with it and start taking that same attitude so that you can truly free yourselves. And so that our babies, our grandbabies, nieces, nephews, godchildren, little needies and brothers and sisters in our neighborhoods and communities will not have to be subject to this same this same I'm sorry, I think it's this music, it just keeps throwing me off. But so that these people, these young people coming up won't be subject to the same life of imprisonment as we've been. It's time to stop being selfish. A lot of us not going to be around to see a lot of things that's going to come. And so that keeps you from wanting or having the passion to even care enough to do something that could save these babies from having to repeat this same entire thing or this same cycle all over again. It's the selfishness in us that don't allow us to do that, to push these kind of messages. And that's really sad. That's really, really sad, especially if you're a grown man or a grown woman. You ought to smack yourself right now. Because that's sad. That you feel like, well, I ain't going to be able to see it. So why should I do all of this and do all of that? I'm going to be dead and buried. I'm going to be dead and gone. Is that really how you feel? Knowing that these are your grandbabies and your nieces and your nephews and your godchildren coming up? You seeing what you had to go through. Look at what you're still going through. At least give them all the fighting chances they can have, because you know somebody dropped the ball with most of us. Give them all the fighting chance. You know? All of it. They deserve it. Give them a head start for once in a while. Let them have the head start. Everybody always had a head start over us for the past 400 years. Let's give our babies, this generation coming up, the head start. And we can't do that if we still teaching them these same old backwards way of thinking. These same old backwards methodologies and, beliefs. Because where do these beliefs come from? I always tell y'all, don't forget the main idea, the who, the what, the when, the where, and the why. We learned this as children in elementary school. We have to still instill that in our babies and even in ourselves to ask these very, very crucial but vital questions in all aspects of life. All aspects. Sound right reasoning. And hey, that's what Pops always taught. Sound right reasoning. And on that note, I'm going to say peace and light. I love y'all. And that's the truth. I just really can't wait to see the day when some of you all will learn to look past clothes, color, gender, hair texture, and all those things. Yes.